G'day, I've got another video tonight and we're going to be talking about acceleration, and this is a quality of movement that is absolutely vital to what we try to do in our style. And when we're talking about survival, there's a lot of things that we need to do well to improve our chances of survival, and acceleration is the key to quite a number of things. And to start with, we can talk about acceleration in terms of how we keep ourselves safe purely with acceleration. And what I mean by that is, I've mentioned it in previous videos, that if we get to our opponent before they're ready to deploy their weapons, then it's a very good way of negating their weapons. And part of the acceleration is the really important idea of not hesitating. So often you'll see opponents squaring off with each other, and there's a period of socialising between those two in terms of sizing each other up, maybe trying to see where a weakness might occur. Now when all that's going on, you're losing your opportunity to actually take the initiative. So when we think about acceleration, it's not just a physical idea, it's an idea that we want to actually get the jump, so to speak, on our opponent. And that's a really important thing in terms of survival. The negation of the weapons is an added bonus in terms of, as I said, getting to them before they can throw their weapons effectively. Even if they do throw a weapon or two, the idea of moving through those weapons, and you'll see it often in MMA when they're going in for a double leg takedown and things like that. It's rarely that you'll get a decent connection if someone's accelerating at you quickly enough. The other thing that acceleration gives you is momentum. So instead of relying on our weapons coming from a shoulder or trying to hit really hard or kick really hard, if we manage to get our whole system moving effectively, that when we connect with our opponent, that momentum can do a lot of damage. If nothing else, it can knock them off balance. So their ability to recover and respond to you taking initiative is again put into question. Now lastly, one of the aspects I spoke of is our desire to move into real time. And by accelerating well enough, we ideally put our system into a state whereby we're no longer trying to process things in an intellectual fashion, and we allow our system to perform at its optimum level. And again, we refer to that as a full body reflex. So I'm not having to think about what I'm trying to do to my opponent. So one of the aspects we'll do, I'll borrow Justin to come in here. And he's suitably armoured with a head guard and some gloves. Now what I'll do is demonstrate. We're going to do it at a pretty light level. So this is just preparatory exercises for what we might do at a higher grade. But if Justin is presenting me with a threat, and I want to deal with that threat, one of the ways that I want to deal with it, I'm not going to come up here and then just start trying to exchange weapons, okay? So I'm going to move in, and Justin's going to try and throw his weapons, and I'll do what I want to do, okay? So I'm moving in. So moving through as quickly as possible. I'll do a couple more just to give it a bit of an effect. Again. And we'll do one or two more. Ready? Alright. So what we're demonstrating there is low level. So I've probably got the advantage there. But what we're demonstrating is if I can get in past this weapon, I have access to his system and being able to do things to him that he's not going to enjoy. Okay? So that acceleration, it not only gives me the advantage in time, but it gives me an advantage in position because he's not looking for that. He's looking for that exchange of weapons. So if I can perform my acceleration well enough, it takes care of a lot of the issues that would otherwise be a problem for me if I stood here. Okay? I'm going to deal with some other aspects of that entry in another video, and that's going to specifically deal with the posture that I move in on, in terms of how that keeps me safe. Also the zones of safety in terms of where I'm safe, where I'm not safe, etc, etc. And I'll talk a little bit about vision as well. But that was just a little insight into acceleration and why it's important. There are other things that we can take from that in terms of if I'm dealing with more than one opponent, I need to move from one opponent to the other as quickly as possible. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any comments, let me know, and I'll see you next video. Alright, thanks. Bye.